With local government elections fast approaching, the Independent Electoral Commission is racing against the clock. IEC officials are scrambling to identify landmarks in voting districts around the country where people don't have formal addresses. A typical urban address has a street or complex number, a street name, a suburb, and a town or city. But rural or township addresses aren't always accurate and often need verification.
An election, it's supposed to be an equalizer in society, because an election accords all citizens, or at least those that are registered, an opportunity to place a vote that determines the political direction of the country in an equal and even-handed manner.
Addresses on the voters' roll allow political parties and candidates to campaign directly with constituents. It also safeguards against irregularities, restricting voters to vote only in the districts where they live. But this didn't happen during the 2013 Tlokwe by-elections.
A whistleblower within the IEC informed us of an amount of around about 2,700 people that have registered unlawfully. That means from other wards, coming from other towns, and that were going to participate in those elections.
The IEC confirmed in court that 1,040 people who were not from the area had been incorrectly registered. Put simply, people from outside the wards had been bussed in to vote. After a lengthy court battle, the Constitutional Court handed down a landmark judgment in November.
It is declared that the by-elections conducted in the Tlokwe municipality on 12 September 2013 in Ward 18 and on 10 December in Wards 1, 4, 11, 12, 13 and 20 were not free and fair.
I feel proud. You see, I feel proud because I can Constitutional Court, and then corruption.
Plans to hold Tlokwe by-elections again in February this year were halted. Independent candidates approached the Electoral Court as once again the IEC had failed to provide a voter's roll, including addresses. This prompted the Commission to launch another court action in May, seeking clarity on the order. It argued that updating the voters' roll with millions of addresses would be a mammoth task and would delay the elections.
32% of voters' addresses have not been captured.
This decision is still pending. Meanwhile, officials will use information from these maps to help presiding officers at voting stations to verify that those casting their ballots are indeed from the area. Landmarks such as this shop or even this communal tap are critical in enabling presiding officers to confirm that each person votes in the correct district, even if they don't live in a formal house.
Now that the independents have secured this victory in law, it's a framework under which all elections should be administered. Now we are bringing our factor that we agree this issue has to happen. The voters' roll has to contain addresses, irrespective of whether there are issues of conventional situations like in your rural areas or so.
IEC, it was supposed to be the people who run the free and fair elections, so they don't do that. They are biased towards the other political parties.
The IEC admits that the Tlokwe case has tainted its reputation for free and fair elections, but it's helped the electoral body identify where problems such as electoral fraud can arise.
The best possible way to respond to the negative narrative is to give a country an election that the country expects of an electoral commission. In other words, let our actions speak more than our words.
Some of the independents are ANC councillors who were expelled from the party. They were fired because they worked with the opposition to remove the former mayor, who they accused of corruption.
it was not a heavy price. It can be a heavy price, but if you like the truth, if you do something that is right, somehow you can struggle in your life. But if once you know you have done something which is right, you'll be brave.
In what is arguably the most contested election since 1994, there is no room for doubt. It's crucial that trust in the electoral process is restored. Absolute voter confidence will rely on how the Constitutional Court and the IEC respond to close all the gaps. Phakamile, Hlubi, Tlokwe, Potchefstroom.